Hello, what's going on everyone? Don Aaron Games here, and for today's video, we will do a storyline explanation on Mystery Case Files Huntsville. So yeah, the game was released on the 14th of November 2005, so it is an old game and still retains its charm in the hidden object industry. It is a game developed by Big Fish Game Studios. Furthermore, the video is divided into several parts such as the introduction, game mechanics, and their purpose in the story, the members of Stain, and finally, the ending. All of these are explained according to the plot and some theories I came up with. So without further ado, let's unravel the mysteries that shroud Huntsville. An intern detective from the Mystery Case Files Agency was sent to Huntsville in the U.S. state of Alabama. Mayor Grynell Nubbs, who is the mayor of the town, called this inexperienced intern. The protagonist is required to investigate the crime spree, which might be the cause of exponentially decreasing population, given that Huntsville only has a population of 357, with the remaining people already frightened about this and even flooded phone calls to the police department with the ongoing criminal conspiracy. The police chief Jedwab and other officers have already backed out from the case, with the intern protagonist being the only Mayor Nubbs' last hope. It is also stated that an intern agent can only manipulate the crime computer since no one else can, not even the mayor or the police department. Therefore, it is the mission of the intern detective to find any leads about the criminal mastermind behind the crime spree. With the first case dossier disseminated, it instructs the intern detective to investigate specified locations and look for the required amount of items that are considered clues. These clues are evidence for the crime computer to unravel, which play a vital part in the game mechanic of an I Spy. With these clues or items are hidden behind a painted scene for the protagonist to find. These random items do not seem relevant to the case, but it is a job of a crime computer to analyze these objects. The detective also brought their brown leather satchel to store clues or items inside while traveling around the town and investigating specified establishments. One thing that intrigues me is that this satchel is so magical that it can hold up to 76 items in varying sizes. It seems to others that the satchel only acts as a part of a game mechanic. However, I have a theory about this strange yet convenient hand carry bag. A theory is that this satchel has some supernatural abilities of a wormhole where it sucks the items inside where it has much greater carrying capacity, given that you can fit inside the pole of a parking meter or any objects on a bigger scale. The last object is a crime computer. The crime computer is an agency device that is capable of analyzing objects and magically revealing surveillance photographs of a place along with the prevailing criminal behind a certain case. The crime computer is equipped with a monitor, a speaker, a typewriter as its keyboard with a flexible pipe connected to the monitor. It also has a clamp that holds the game's main user interface called the crime remote. The crime remote is a detachable agency device that the protagonist brings around the town to remind them of the clues needed to find and how many items are required to be scanned on the crime computer. Also, the remote is presumably used as a scanner to scan all the objects found. However, the scanning and analyzing of the objects can only be initiated when the crime remote is connected to the computer. When the objects are scanned, an encrypted image of a surveillance photo of a certain crime scene is displayed on the screen. The protagonist has to decrypt the image by solving the tile swapping puzzle, where two tiles needed to be swapped to their correct positions. After solving the puzzle, it reveals the crime scene at a certain location along with the prevailing criminal. What is magical about the crime computer is that it can reveal the scene of the crime in a form of a surveillance photo by just analyzing these objects. There are some theories I came up with about the features of the crime computer. A theory is that the crime computer already has several data or scenes recorded from the surveillance cameras placed in every location in Huntsville that are presumably connected to the crime computer. However, all the recorded surveillance photos are hidden from the crime computer's database, where only evidence and clues can make the crime computer pick one correct surveillance photo that is needed to be decrypted by the protagonist, successfully prevailing the criminal of the case. This also might be the reason why the law enforcers and local investigators had difficulties using the crime computer as they were unfamiliar with its complex yet strange features. Again, this was just a theory that I came up with, and let me know your thoughts and theories if you have one in the comment section below, because we never know, your theories might be better than mine. The first case with the rank of a flatfoot is called the five-finger discount. The various store owners in the town have their product items stolen without notice by a mysterious thief. This sticky-fingered thief, who is also the first criminal of the case, is revealed to be a Hollywood star named Darla Rudder, who is currently in the town filming for her latest infomercial of canned meat. During the time of her filming, the detective has uncovered the scene of the crime on the crime computer, revealing that she is a shoplifter at a local bookstore, revealing a skull mark tattooed on her thigh. The skull mark holds an important meaning in the criminal mastermind that will be tackled later. After finding out that Darla Rudder is a thief, she is sent to jail by the protagonist and therefore receives the rank of a snoop. The second case with the rank of a snoop is called funny money. A certain corrupt person is spending fake money all over the town, and the center of the operations is the barbershop in Huntsville. Therefore, the criminal behind the bogus bills is no other than the man who owned the barbershop named Rudy, who is snipping fake printed money with a hair cutting shear. The crime computer also wondered if Rudy was a part of a larger criminal conspiracy. We can see that the skull emblem on his right wrist. The corrupt person Rudy was thrown at a jail with the detective receiving the rank of a gumshoe. The third case with the rank of a gumshoe is called the alarmist. A certain criminal has been sounding fire alarms in Huntsville. The protagonist caught the culprit of this case using the crime computer. The agitator by the name of Elmer, who worked at the body shop, caught in the fire station dressed in a beaver suit. The crime computer stated that he had been pulling false fire alarms as a diversion so he could slide down the fire pole in a beaver costume. He has a skull emblem on his hat, and therefore, after throwing him in jail, the protagonist receives the ranking of a slewfoot. The fourth case with the rank of a slewfoot is called Loose Nut. A professor by the name of Luna H. Tick, or should I say Professor Lunatic, escaped from Huntsville Funny Farm, a mental institution in Huntsville. The residents are panicking and the authorities requesting the protagonist to find this missing madwoman. The protagonist found her hiding in the Science Museum, conducting an unorthodox experiment, specifically with the Wimhurst machine. The pink skull emblem is pinned on the left chest of her uniform. The protagonist received the ranking of the investigator after finding this mad professor. The fifth case with the rank of an investigator is called The Way to the Man's Heart. Mrs. Larson suspected her husband of committing marital infidelity, where she thought her husband was cheating on her. Instead, her husband, Bill Larson, was ditching his wife to eat at Alice's diner. Bill has so far not committed any heinous criminal acts nor guilty of adultery, so he is not a criminal here, although he should be since he has the skull emblem of a certain organization tattooed on his lower back, so he might have a criminal record that we have not known about. However, that is just my theory. Therefore, after finding Mrs. Larson's husband, the protagonist received a ranking of a bird dog. The sixth case with the rank of a bird dog is called the Scam Artist. The historians visiting Huntsville Art Museum noticed artworks and art pieces that were fakes. The protagonist found out via crime computer that it was guilty as hell, or should I say guilty as hell, get it? A forger who has been replacing a real art pieces with fake ones so he can sell the real ones online. The skull emblem is on his smock. However, the said emblem is shown on his calling card lodged on one of the art exhibits, specifically the one similar to Marcel Duchamp's assisted ready-made bicycle wheel. After putting guilty Azel in jail, the protagonist received the ranking of a spotter. The seventh case with the rank of a spotter is called Nerdy Nuisance. The citizens of Huntsville were distressed when they found out that someone hacked their email accounts and read their private messages. The protagonist finds out that it was Eugene Needlemeyer who hacks into people's emails to find out who places white tape on his glasses. The skull emblem is a sticker on his laptop, and therefore, after finding him in Ivan's cafe, the protagonist receives a ranking of a sleuth. The eighth case with a ranking of a sleuth is called the cat burglar. Various disappearances of pet cats that are owned by the residents around the area and the pet store. The protagonist found out that it was Ty, the owner of the clock shop, who was responsible for stealing cats, forcing a clock in their bodies, and selling them as clocks. The skull emblem is pinned on his right chest of his shirt. And therefore, after finding him in his clock shop, the protagonist received a ranking of a Shadow Master. The ninth case with a ranking of a Shadow Master is called Spaced Out. Someone has been terrorizing Huntsville with the UFO sightings and alien visitations. This caused confusions and panic among the residents. The protagonist found out that it was Doris Blevins, alias Klaatu Baratsanikto, with her delusions about aliens. She was caught by the protagonist playing in a Greg's Toyland. The skull emblem is on her belt of her spacesuit. Therefore, the protagonist received a ranking of a private eye. The 10th case with a ranking of a private eye is called Not So Final Resting Place. A grave robber dug graves to steal precious valuable items of a cemetery resident. The protagonist finds out that it was Pete's assistant Lou from the pawn shop who has been digging graves and selling those precious valuables in the pawn shop. The skull emblem is attached to the gravestone, leaving it as a mark. Therefore, the protagonist received a ranking of an undercover agent after putting him in jail. The 11th case with a ranking of an undercover agent is called Confidence Man. Someone committed a pyramid scheme, a fraudulent system of recruiting investors, promised to be paid by recruiting more investors so the returns will be given to the earlier investor. This type of scheme is illegal in the United States and other countries. The protagonist found out that it was Harry who committed this act, caught him in Captain's Inn about to flee the town. The crime computer stated that the skull emblem was on his shirt, but it is shown attached to his suitcase. Therefore, after putting him in jail, the protagonist receives a ranking of a sleuth hound. The 12th case with a ranking of a sleuth hound is called Color of Money. A certain culprit who is a trusted asset of a certain employer is committing an embezzlement scandal by stealing money in the law offices of Hound and Peck. The protagonist caught Violet Burgundy, who works for her lawyer boss. She was caught looting money in her boss' office and claimed to have been a pawn in a larger scheme. Violet wore the skull emblem as a necklace. After putting her in jail, the protagonist received a ranking of an infiltrator. The 13th case with the ranking of the infiltrator is called Environmental Enemy. A culprit has been polluting water with a toxic substance. The protagonist caught Rick working at the auto body shop dumping toxic waste in the water supply of the Nautical Museum. The toxic waste he dumped in came from the auto body shop. The crime computer stated that the skull emblem was on his jacket. However, the skull emblem is stuck on a barrel of the toxic oil and revealed to be a criminal of a dangerous organization called Stain. The abbreviation of Stain is still unknown as of this day. So, after putting Rick in jail, the protagonist received a ranking of a special agent. The 14th case with a ranking of a special agent, it's called Main Man. A culprit, who is a right-hand man of the leader of the organization, has been hijacking people's hair while they are asleep. He has been wanted by the police officers, hoping to find leads to the leader of the organization. The protagonist caught Harold Funkmayer in the mausoleum. The Stain emblem can be found on his hand mirror. After putting him in jail, the protagonist received a ranking of a senior operative. I also theorize that the protagonist interrogated Harold since he is a right-hand man of the organization. They interrogated him and learned that they had a headquarters and wouldn't tell them where. Therefore, this leads to the 15th case, which is the Stain's secret hideout and the big boss. The protagonist searches for clues to find the secret hideout and finally pieces them using the crime computer. It revealed a map showing the secret entrance to the Stain headquarters. This entrance is a fountain that is in front of the three museums. A hidden spiral staircase leads to the headquarters that is revealed to be interior of a regular house. The protagonist found all the clues to reveal the mastermind of the organization. The mastermind is revealed to be Gertrude Goodlittle, an innocent-looking lady who was once a librarian behind all the criminal activities in Huntsville. She is known to be a puppet master of the organization, given that she had a string puppet of Rudy, Violet Burgundy, and even a voodoo doll of Guilty Azel in her living room, implying that they are being controlled by the puppet master to fulfill the organization's malevolent objective. The protagonist caught Gertrude Goodlittle knitting a scarf with a Stain emblem. After they lock her behind bars with her books and other necessities, the protagonist receives a ranking of the Master Detective along with the keys to the city awarded by Mayor Grindel Knobs. The keys to the city symbolizes trust and honor. It pertains to the protagonist's freedom to enter or leave Huntsville in their own will, as if they were a trusted individual and a prominent figure to the citizens. It is one of the merits the protagonist gained by making Huntsville a safe town in which to live. So there we go, guys. We wrap up this story explanation of Mystery Case Files Huntsville. Let me know in the comment section below if there are details that I have missed or any incorrect information that may have caused an oopsie in this video. So yeah, otherwise, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. For now, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone!